Welcome back. It's Emily, your telepsychologist with Mindset Therapy. In this video today, we're going to be talking about mental health symptoms, mental health disorders, as well as when to seek mental health treatment. I want to start with there's lots of symptoms that people have that are not an indication of a mental health disorder, but they are things for you to start to be aware of and notice if they have an impact in your life. Some of those common symptoms are difficulty focusing, fatigue, sleep problems, so sleeping too much or too little, changes in your appetite, again, eating more or eating less, as well as thoughts of harming yourself or others, loss of pleasure in things that you used to enjoy. Those are all common things that people experience throughout their life. And none of those on their own are a problem or something to suggest that there's something wrong with you. But I want you to look at yourself and see if you've had an increase in any of those symptoms, or if they're starting to cause problems in your life for things that people have commented on that they're concerned about. That's what I want you to pay attention to as we move through this video and discuss mental health. When we have a change in symptoms and start to notice those changes, they can be obvious or they could sneak up on us slowly and we're not aware of them for days, weeks, months, or even years. What I want you to remember is whenever you notice the symptoms, you can still get treatment, and there are tools and techniques that you can use to better manage those symptoms. So if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, just go ahead and leave a comment down below or reach out to a mental health therapist and they can help you address those symptoms. But what I want us to really focus on today is that seeking mental health treatment is not a sign of weakness. Oftentimes people think that they have to deal with things on their own. Part of that is cultural. Figure it out on your own. If you can't figure it out, then go ask somebody. But the expectation is try to make it work and do it on your own. That's just not realistic. If you went right now and fell off the curb, broke your leg, you'd go to the doctor. You wouldn't think about it, you wouldn't second guess, you would go to have that injury checked out. With mental health, there's a different focus and a different mentality. People often say that they try to use willpower to get through. They're not sleeping. They're not enjoying things that they used to do. They need to just push through, use willpower, and if they can't make changes, then they're weak. Seeking mental health treatment is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. When we're able to recognize what our problem is and find solutions for those problems, that is a sign of strength. Mental health treatment is a solution that is a perfect option for some people. Another thing to keep in mind is that coming to mental health treatment does not mean that you have a mental health disorder. Ideally, you come into mental health treatment when you start to notice those symptoms starting to develop or worsen over time, so you can learn tools and techniques to manage what you're experiencing. However, if you've had these symptoms for, like I said, years, you can still get help. You can learn tools and techniques, and you can teach an old dog new tricks. Do not put off attending mental health treatment because of the stigma or because you feel like you're too far gone to make any changes, because you actually can make changes with the different tools that you can use. Receiving mental health treatment doesn't mean that you have a disorder. It just means that you have things that you want to work on. You need to make you a priority. In a world that's increasingly busy, more tasks put on us, more expectations, you often fall to the bottom of the priority list. But the only person that can look out for you is you. And again, when you can recognize those areas that you need to work on, that is a strength. When you come to mental health treatment, you can learn tools and techniques to manage the symptoms that you are experiencing. It doesn't matter if you've had those symptoms for a week or for several years. You can learn different techniques. Ideally, you come into treatment when the symptoms are newer because they're easier to change, but by no means does that mean that you can't make changes 10, 20, 30 years later. One of the reasons people don't seek out mental health treatment, in addition to feeling like they're crazy or there's something wrong with them, is they don't feel comfortable in the therapist's office or going to the therapist's office because they really feel that stigma of mental health. Telepsychology is a new form of mental health treatment that removes that stigma. It allows you to attend your appointment at a location where you feel most comfortable. You can call in from your home, from your office, from wherever you are at the moment via video teleconferencing. You connect directly with your therapist via the video to hold your appointment. This makes it easier for individuals that don't want to get out of the house to go to their appointment, and it also makes it feel more comfortable in the setting that they're in. When you attend telepsychology appointments, you also remove the time constraints. When you go to the doctor, you have to account for travel time, checking in early, and what is supposed to be an hour appointment can very quickly become a 2-hour time drain. And with telepsychology, we're removing some of those obstacles. When you enter into treatment and you get your symptoms effectively treated, you can be more productive in all areas of your life. You'll find that your work is easier to do. You don't have to put as much time and energy in tasks that you used to have to put in, and you enjoy things more at home as well. So at the beginning of this video, I mentioned some common symptoms that people have during their day that may or may not be an indication of a mental health disorder. But let's touch base now on how that might present in your life. If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, is what I'm experiencing a mental health symptom, a mental health condition, or even something I can go to treatment for? So let's look at how we can address those. When people start to be depressed or anxious, they stop doing those things that they enjoy. So maybe you like to go to the concerts on the weekend, or you like to go hiking or bike riding, but you find that you're not doing that anymore. Or you used to call your family and friends and talk with them, but now you just don't have the motivation or the energy to talk to anybody. Or maybe you find you're sleeping more and more and more. Where you used to get up on the weekend and find things to do, now you just stay in bed all day. Those are all symptoms of a developing mental health condition. So with that, you want to ask yourself, am I right for therapy? Should I contact a therapist and get help? Who can go to therapy? Who is therapy for? And the answer is simple. Therapy is for you. Therapy can work with anybody. It doesn't matter how old you are, how long you've had the disorder, whether or not you think you can or can't change. You can find a therapist that works for you. Sometimes you might go to a therapist and they may not be a good match for you. So maybe you've tried it in the past and you're not sure if you want to go back again. But do know that there is a therapist out there that is right for you. If you have any questions or comments on what might make a good therapist or what you're looking for, go ahead and comment down below, but also just give it a chance. So in summary, today we went over some of the mental health symptoms, mental health disorders, and mental health treatment. And I want to emphasize again that seeking mental health treatment is not a weakness. It is a sign of strength. There are still stigmas associated with mental health treatment, which is changing, but I recognize that that stigma is still there. But you need to make you a priority and focus on the changes that are going to make you a better person and not the stigma associated with mental health. When you come to treatment, there's lots of tools and techniques that your provider can help develop with you individually to show that they're invested in your change in making you a better person with the goals that you have in mind. So I look forward to talking with each of you again during the next video. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below or visit my website at mindsettherapyonline.com.